When I took the GMAT for the first time, it was an opportunity to go and take a free practice test. I think it was offered by Princeton Review, and it was simulating the real conditions. It was at USC's Marshall School of Business, and it was free. So I went cold. I went in cold. I hadn't studied. I hadn't prepped. I didn't even fully know what all the sections of the GMAT were at that time. Would not recommend that. That was an epic waste of time. I ended up getting, I think, a 420. Abysmal. So when I got admitted to Management Leadership for Tomorrow, there were very strict deadlines to help pre-MBA students pace for conquering the GMAT. I believe the first deadline was end of February 2014. So I did some self-study. I tried my best to prepare myself, and I ended up getting a 520 on the exam. I was pretty strong in verbal, and I knew that I needed to really strengthen my quantitative skills. So in being admitted to Forte Foundation's MBA Launch Program, which was another phenomenal pre-MBA program that I highly recommend, I got some additional resources from all the major test prep companies. They did these awesome webinar series that we were able to access for free through Forte Foundation. Through that and self-study, I ended up taking the test again 4 months later in June 2014, and I increased my score and got a 570. I knew that still wouldn't cut it. I was really going for a 700, you know. Everyone in MLT and Forte, everyone's talking about the 700 club as if it was this exclusive elite place that you had to get into in order to get into a top business school. And I bought into that. I was balancing my duties as a mom. I was running my consulting company. I was also going through a divorce at the time. I had a lot going on in my personal life and in my professional life, but I knew that I needed to do well on this exam. So after getting a 570 the second time I officially took the exam, I decided that I was going to invest in myself and hire a private tutor. And the person who recommended this tutor to me is actually an MLT alum. He is also a Wharton MBA. His name is Rodrigo. He is awesome. And he recommended this guy named Ian Stewart. And he said, email Ian Stewart gmat@gmail.com, and he will get you on the right track for your GMAT prep. So I emailed Ian, and the rest is history. We had great chemistry, and his method just worked for me. We were able to work remotely. He was based in Toronto. I was in Los Angeles, and we would do sessions via Skype. And we focused primarily on quant because my verbal was strong. In retrospect, I should have studied some strategies for verbal because I could have maxed out on verbal and probably gotten a higher score. I ended up getting a 640 when I took the exam. October 14th, 2014 was a day of victory for me. I felt so accomplished. I felt such a big weight off of my shoulders, and highly recommend Ian or any other private tutor. It can be expensive, but it is a worthy investment because doing well on the GMAT can just open so many doors. And hopefully this can be a lesson for other women out there. It is possible. You just have to buckle down, set time to study, and make sure that you are meeting your deadlines and that you're doing practice problems.